Hey everyone, this is FaZe and welcome to my channel. Just yesterday, Apple announced the all-new 7th generation iPad mini. It's now available for pre-order and you can pick it up as soon as next week. And at first I was kind of underwhelmed because when you just go on their website and kind of see what the new features are, it doesn't seem like a whole lot. It's got the new A17 Pro chip, which basically gives you faster performance and enables Apple Intelligence. And you get a faster USB-C port for quicker data transfers. You get Smart HDR4 for better photo quality. And you get the Apple Pencil Pro support with hover functionality for greater precision. And if you're really into, colors, there is a new blue color and a new lighter purple color. And like I said in my previous videos, the base storage now starts at 128 gigabytes, whereas the iPad mini 6 was at 64 gigabytes. So a lot of people were asking me, is it worth upgrading to the new iPad mini 7? Today, I'm gonna give you my thoughts. So I'm someone who uses the iPad mini 6. I love the iPad mini 6. I think it's one of the best tablets out there in the market. It is funny because when I upgraded to the iPad Pro, I kind of stopped using the iPad mini. I didn't use it as much because I do a lot of content creation on this device, but I realized I'm doing a lot of content consumption on this device as well. And content consumption is what I thought the iPad mini was the best device for. But having said that, I almost tried returning the iPad mini because I just didn't use it as much. But then I gave it another try. I started traveling with it and I realized it's great for travel because I don't have to take this with me. Everything that I can technically do on this, I can do on a smaller form factor. And I think it's even better when you're traveling and you're out and about. Portability does make a big difference. And so I did an entire video of how my iPad mini 6 experience was while traveling. So if you want to watch that video, you can click the link above or in the description below. Now, when it comes to the new iPad mini 7, Apple should have done more because the display on the iPad mini 6 is nice, but it could definitely be a lot better. Now, I'm not saying give it a Pro Motion display with 120 Hertz, but at least give it 90 Hertz. I mean, having a 60 Hertz display in 2024 is kind of absurd. And you still have a 60 Hertz display on the iPad Air. So I kind of knew that if the Air doesn't have a 60 Hertz display, then there's no way the iPad mini 7 is going to get it. But I still wish that they bumped up the pixels per inch or increased the resolution. I wish they did something to improve it, but they did nothing. Also, the design I have no issue with because I really like the design of the iPad mini 6. Display was something that I really wanted to see an enhancement with and I didn't get that. But I still think the iPad mini 7 is worth it because if you look at what Apple does with the iPad mini, and not just with the iPad mini, technically all the other iPads as well, they're not updating them as frequently. It took a couple years to bring out the new iPad Pro with the M4 chip. And at the same time, what Apple is trying to do here with the iPads is that they're not going to update them as frequently, but they're trying to future-proof them. And I think that's what they're doing with the iPad mini 7. So for an example, what they're doing here with the A17 Pro chip is that they're giving you faster performance. Now, anyone that I know personally who has an iPad mini 6 has never really complained about the performance of their iPad mini 6. I have the iPad mini 6 and I love it. I especially for the tasks that I do and the tasks that the iPad mini is made for, right? If you want to do some heavy multitasking or straight up graphic design work and stuff, yeah, you can do it on there, but then you might want to consider the iPad Air or the iPad Pro for that, right? But for just content consumption and some light productivity tasks that the iPad mini is really designed for, I think the iPad mini is great. And now it's going to be even better with the performance upgrades with the A17 Pro chip, which I think will really improve user experience, especially if you're a mobile gamer. But where I think the A17 Pro chip really excels is that it gives you support for Apple Intelligence. And I think Apple Intelligence is what's going to take the iPad mini next level because nowadays the hardware on all devices is pretty great. Even with the new iPhone 16 series that just came out, if you saw my review, you probably know that it's a very similar device hardware-wise when you compare it to the previous generation iPhones. And I feel like we've reached peak hardware right now, both with iPhones and iPads, right? So what Apple can really do, and just a lot of companies in general now, is really push great software features. And with what Apple Intelligence is going to bring is really going to enhance productivity for a lot of users. And with the iPad mini 6, you are not going to get Apple Intelligence. You're not going to get some great new features like writing tools and Genmoji and image playgrounds. And I feel like a lot of these features will really enhance the day-to-day tasks that you're going to do because the features that Apple has introduced right now are just a few. There are a lot of other things that are going to come out with Apple Intelligence that's going to take the power of AI and the processor next level. So if you're someone who wants to be very productive on their iPad mini, then you should definitely be going for the iPad mini 7 specifically just for Apple Intelligence. Also, I'm a content creator and I use my iPad mini as basically a storage device as well. And I do some light video editing on there as well for smaller videos and stuff like that, and editing pictures here and there. And so what's really cool is that now, not only is Apple bumping up the storage from 64 gigabytes to 128 gigabytes at the same $499 price tag, you also get a faster USB-C port. So you get a quicker data transfer when you're importing, pictures and videos and stuff like that. And also, when it comes to the camera features, you get smart HDR4, so pictures will look much more vibrant and of better quality. And at the same time, you're getting a true tone flash. Now, you might be thinking here, who actually takes pictures with their iPads, right? Well, I think with true tone flash, obviously you can take better pictures if you want to, but it's great for document scanning as well, because with Apple Intelligence, it's going to give you crisp, nicer document scans than ever before. And that true tone flash is kind of needed in order for that feature to work properly. So if you're in the market for an all new iPad mini, then I think you should definitely consider the iPad mini 7. But if you don't really care for the Apple Intelligence features at all, then if you can get an iPad mini 6 for a great deal, I say go for it. But if you are someone who wants to future-proof their iPad and actually does see themselves using it, then I do think you should wait and get the new iPad mini 7 instead. I think Apple Intelligence is going to be great. I think Apple has just barely touched the surface when it comes to showing off the features of what Apple Intelligence is going to do. I can't wait till next year when Apple launches a ton of new AI features with Apple Intelligence. And once again, the iPad mini 7 will support it from day one. The iPad mini 6 will not. And also, I think you're getting a better deal because you're getting double the storage and you're getting Apple Pencil Pro support. So if you're someone who has an iPad Pro like me and you're using the iPad with the Apple Pencil Pro, that's gonna work with the new iPad mini as well. And I know that if you look at it from another perspective of someone who already owns an iPad and uses a second generation Apple Pencil, that unfortunately will not work with the new iPad mini. So that's kind of a bummer, and I feel like Apple could have still supported the second generation Apple Pencil. I don't see why they didn't. I know with the new Pro and Air, because they changed the orientation of the camera due to magnets and stuff like that, they had to change some things with the pencil itself for it to work with the new iPad Pro and Air. But with the iPad mini, the camera orientation is the same. So I don't know why Apple isn't allowing for the Apple Pencil second generation, but it does support the USB-C Apple Pencil, and I don't recommend that. But at the end of the day, I do think the iPad mini 7 is a solid upgrade if you are in the market for Apple Intelligence and that double storage, which you're not gonna get with the iPad mini 6. But at the end of the day, I wanna know your thoughts. Do you think the iPad mini 7 is a worthy upgrade? Whatever your thoughts are, whatever your questions are, leave them down in the comment section below. I will be getting my hands on the new iPad mini 7 relatively soon. So the moment I get it, I'll do an unboxing video and I'll review the device for you guys on my channel. So stay tuned for that. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so, and I'll see you next time.